How's it going, everyone? Today I want to talk to you about a canister filter versus a hang-on-the-back filter. We'll compare and contrast them. We'll talk about different pros and cons of each, and we'll give you some information to help you make a decision on what filter is going to work best for you. So first of all, how a hang-on-the-back filter works. Water gets pumped up into the filter by an impeller and an uptake pipe, and it flows through the media in the filter, which is usually a filter cartridge, but is sometimes ceramic rings and a sponge, or any number of things depending on the model. But most common is a filter cartridge. And then it's returned to the aquarium by gravity after the water has flown through the filter cartridge. It goes over a spillway, returning it to the aquarium. The cartridge provides mechanical filtration, taking particulate out of the water, some chemical filtration with the activated carbon in the filter cartridge, and biological filtration until you pull the cartridge out and replace it. A canister filter, water is forced into the filter with a pump. It goes through the trays of media that can contain ceramic rings, bio balls, pot scrubbies, any number of different medias. Mechanical filters like sponges and polishing pads, and chemical filters like carbon, ammonia lock, and purigen, depending on the person and the filter. And then it is pumped back up through the aquarium through an output. Let's talk about the money. We're going to use a 75-gallon tank for the example. That's what I have at home, so it's what I've been aware of myself with setting it up. So I picked a hang-on-the-back filter and a canister filter, both manufactured to operate for a 75-gallon aquarium. So the hang-on-the-back is going to be more cost-effective up front. You're looking at $30 to $60 for a filter rated for a 75-gallon aquarium. Now these are just ballpark numbers. There could be filters that are outside of that price range. But for a good quality filter, this is what I went with. The one that I picked was a Marineland BioWheel Emperor size 400, and it was $41.19 online. Now, a canister is going to cost more up front. You're looking at $70 to $300, and again, these are ballpark numbers, so there may be filters that fall outside that category. But this is for a filter rated for a 75-gallon aquarium, and the filter that I picked was a Marineland C360, and I found it online for $149.17. So you compare them based on price. The hang-on-the-back is definitely less expensive for the cost of the filter itself. So if you are strapped for cash and you need a filter in a hurry, the hang-on-the-back may be the best option to get you going, since they cost roughly a third the price of a canister. But either way, make sure you read some reviews. Don't go cheap and get a bad filter that's just going to cause you to have to buy another one in a month. Appearance. With a hang on the back, you have an uptake pipe in your aquarium, you have the spillway in the aquarium, you possibly have the body of the filter in the aquarium, which you can see in the second picture with the blue arrow pointed down, and you may have the impeller in your aquarium. Some of them have the impeller in the body of the filter on the back, some of them have the impeller inside the aquarium. Aqueons, for example, have the impeller inside the aquarium, where Tetra filters have it built into the body. Depends on the filter. With a canister, you have the return spout and the uptake pipe in the aquarium, and that is all of the hardware that goes in the aquarium. As you can see in the second picture over from the right, the canister filter body goes underneath of your stand or off to the side and is connected to those pipes with hoses. So for appearance, if you want minimal equipment in your aquarium, canister filter is going to give you less equipment in the aquarium than a hang-on-the-back overall. Pros of each. A hang-on-the-back, they are small, so you can fit them between your aquarium and the wall. They are easy to access because they aren't under your stand. They're hanging on the back of your aquarium, so it's as simple as picking up a plastic lid and you have access to the inside of the filter. They are easy to clean. You take out the cartridge, rinse it in some dechlorinated water, put it back, and you have it cleaned. and they give you good surface agitation depending upon the model. They hit the surface of the water, which is going to cause oxygenation and gas exchange and help prevent protein buildups on the top of the aquarium. And basically the biggest pro, they're just easy to use. You hang it on the back of the aquarium, you assemble the filter cartridge as per the directions, you plug it in, and you may have to pour a glass of water in it to prime it, and it's ready to go. The pros of a canister filter: you have little equipment in your aquarium, just the intake and output. The intake and output can be placed anywhere in the aquarium. You can put one on one side, one on the other, and put them all the way into the corners if you want, so your broad viewing area has no equipment except for heaters. And you have a large capacity for biological filtration. All of those trays can be filled with different biological filters, enabling you to keep more fish because you have more surface area for beneficial bacteria to grow. You get good circulation. With being able to change the location of those inputs and outputs, you can affect the water's flow in your aquarium. With a hang-on back, you can really kind of only scoot it back and forth. You have the ability to change the media, the order of the media, and whether or not you want chemical filtration. If you want ammonia lock, purigen, carbon, you can add them. If you don't, you can take them out. If you want bioballs, you can use those. If you want pot scrubbies, you can use that. Whatever media you want, as long as it fits in the trays, you can use with a canister filter. Canister filters generally are more powerful than hang-on-the-backs. You get more water moving through a canister filter than a hang-on-the-back for the most part. And with some models of canister filter, you have the added ability to house a UV sterilizer or other equipment depending on the model of your filter. The cons of each. A hang-on-the-back is bulky in the aquarium depending on the model. The whole filter body fitting down in your aquarium is really bulky and it's kind of an eyesore. But again, that depends on the model. The filter cartridge becomes clogged and it causes the filter to lose performance easily. You are going to be rinsing filter cartridges a lot. And because of having to rinse them and continually maintain that, if you let it go, the water will start going over the filter cartridge and can end up on the floor. You're not filtering your aquarium effectively and the look of your aquarium will suffer. Hang-on-the-backs are not easily customized. There are ways to modify them. I have a video on my channel of how I modified one that I used to have. There's little room for media. In a lot of the models, you can't fit anywhere near the volume of media in a hang-on-back that you can in a canister. Some models are very loud, and since they aren't contained within a stand, all of that noise pollution goes out into the room much easier. There's no add-ons like a UV sterilizer that can go in line with a hang-on-the-back, and some people argue that a hang-on-the-back disrupts CO2 in a planted aquarium. Now, I don't know that I've seen this occur. I would say that the more CO2 you use, the more likely this is to be a problem. If you're using a small amount of CO2, I would say that you're probably not going to experience that much CO2 loss to a hang-on-back filter. The canister filter, the cons, the price. It's a lot more money up front. They can be difficult and messy to access and clean. Since they are under your stand and they do remain full of water since they are pressurized, it can be a mess taking them apart. You can splash water everywhere, and some of them are a pain to get into and put back together. There's limited air-water contact for oxygenation. With a hang-on-the-back, you get the water splashing in the filter body, and then you get it falling over that spillway, all of which is making contact with air and providing for gas exchange. With a canister filter being enclosed and pressurized, you don't get that air-water contact. A canister requires more setup, rinsing the media, putting it together, getting it started, and there's more of it to clean and maintain than a hang-on-the-back without as easy of access. So that would be the con. In my opinion, if you have 54 gallons of or less, a hang-on-the-back may be the way to go depending on what you're trying to do with your aquarium. If you can afford it, I would go canister filter, but a hang-on-the-back 54 gallons or less is going to work. In saltwater, go canister filter, no matter what. With a 55-gallon tank, you can go either way depending on your situation for fresh water. Again, I would say if you can afford it, go the canister route and skip the hanger on the back. 56 gallons or larger, I'm going to say either way you need to go canister. Because what happens is you want to keep more fish, you get tired of buying filter cartridges, you keep having problems because when you take your cartridge out and replace it, you lose your cycle. It can become a mess. So my advice, in my opinion, and you can take it for what it's worth, just save yourself the trouble, get the canister up front. Eventually most people are going to end up wanting a canister filter or a sump or some other kind of filter other than a hang on the back at some point. So if you feel like you're this person that's going to go down the filter rabbit hole and you're going to want to improve your filter and change it and you're not going to be happy with a hang on the back, you may be better off just to go ahead and get the canister. If you are just wanting a 10-gallon tank for your kid to have a couple guppies in, maybe the hang on the back's the way to go. Look at your situation, figure out what fits you best, and get the filter that's going to be right for you. Until next time, I'm out.